Have you ever wondered what unimaginable secrets might be discovered when the final resting place of one of the world's most beloved figures is disturbed after nearly 3 decades? Today, we're diving into a revelation so monumental it could potentially reshape everything we thought we knew about the life and death of Princess Diana. From discrepancies in official reports to a hidden note that may reveal Diana's deepest fears, this story offers surprising twists at every turn. So, sit tight and join me as we unravel the startling discoveries made when, after 27 years, the tomb of the People's Princess was finally reopened. For those who remember that fateful day, August 31st, 1997, news of Princess Diana's death in a Paris car crash brought the world to an abrupt halt. People all around the globe stopped in shock, tears, and disbelief as they learned that this iconic figure, only 36 years old, had lost her life under tragic circumstances. The car accident also claimed the lives of her companion, Dodi Fayed, and their driver, Henri Paul, leaving behind a swirl of unanswered questions. In the immediate aftermath, official statements asserted it was the relentless paparazzi chase combined with high speed and possibly impaired driving that led to the crash. But for many, something felt off. Conspiracy theories quickly sprang up, fanning the flames of speculation, from claims that the royal family might have been involved to the notion of a sinister government cover-up. In the decades that followed, Diana's grieving admirers held on to these theories or chose to focus on her vibrant memory. Yet the questions remained. Were all the official reports accurate? Or was there a deeper truth that had gone unexamined? Fast forward 27 years. Rumors began to circulate about the possibility of reopening Diana's tomb. Few took it seriously at first. After all, the idea seemed intrusive and even disrespectful. But behind closed doors, an independent team of forensic experts was quietly deliberating. Advances in forensic science had made it possible to uncover details that, in 1997, would have been next to impossible to verify. New technologies could reveal previously undiagnosed conditions, examine bone trauma at a microscopic level, and even test for toxins with extraordinary precision. Furthermore, inconsistencies in the original medical reports, small details that hadn't quite lined up, were now being re-examined. Those initial curiosities evolved into pressing concerns. Ultimately, permission was granted for an operation so hush-hush, many people, even within royal circles, had no idea it was happening. Leading the team was Dr. Amelia Carver, a renowned forensic anthropologist known for her meticulous approach and sensitivity to historical figures. To many, the very notion of disturbing Diana's remains sounded macabre, but Dr. Carver insisted that utmost care would be taken to preserve the dignity of the People's Princess. She told a small group of reporters that their priority was not salacious headlines, but rather a quest for truth, driven by scientific integrity and, in her words, a desire to honor Diana's legacy by offering clarity. The question that lingered in everyone's minds was, what exactly did they hope to find? Or, more precisely, what did they suspect was hidden that would justify such an invasive procedure? When the day came to open the tomb, an almost palpable tension filled the air. The tomb was on a private island, part of the Spencer family estate, shielded from tourists and onlookers. The physical act of unsealing the tomb was both painstaking and solemn. Security was tight to prevent any unauthorized individuals from swooping in, trying to catch a glimpse or snap a photo. Those few who were present described the moment the tomb's heavy stone doors slid open as surreal, almost otherworldly. A hush fell over the assembled experts and observers alike. It was as if they had entered a sacred realm where time stood still, an odd moment of reckoning with history itself. Inside the tomb, Diana's remains were contained in a lead-lined coffin. While it had initially been chosen for traditional and protective reasons, that lead lining now served an unexpected scientific purpose. The body was remarkably well preserved, certainly more so than if it had been housed in a standard casket. This meant that new tests, everything from updated toxicology screenings to advanced imaging of bone fractures, could be performed. With bated breath, the forensic team began their painstaking work, understanding that what they found might either lay old rumors to rest or ignite an entirely new wave of speculation. The first major revelation emerged during preliminary examinations of Diana's skeletal injuries. Official accounts described blunt force trauma, broken bones, and internal bleeding consistent with a high-speed car crash. Those details were confirmed. However, certain anomalies in the fractures caught the team's attention. Small fissures in the bone suggested an additional layer of complexity. either an underlying medical condition that compounded the severity of her injuries, or something more mysterious. While a car crash at that speed could certainly cause catastrophic harm, the patterns were slightly inconsistent with typical vehicular accident trauma. This sparked an urgent new line of questioning. Could Diana have had a previously undiagnosed condition that made her more vulnerable to catastrophic injuries? If so, might an earlier diagnosis have saved her? As word of these findings leaked, public curiosity skyrocketed. The press latched onto this new medical angle, speculating that if Diana had known about such a condition, she might have taken fewer risks or demanded specialized medical attention on that ill-fated night. The official team, however, refused to comment prematurely, insisting that they needed to test tissue samples in more sophisticated labs to confirm whether any underlying medical issues contributed to her rapid decline following the crash. Before these tests could offer definitive answers, another shocking layer of mystery made headlines. While examining personal items placed inside the coffin, investigators discovered a small, unassuming jewelry box. It was intricately designed, but had a subdued exterior that belied the potential significance of its contents. Inside it was a single folded sheet of paper. Over the years, countless rumors circulated about secret letters or diaries that Diana may have left behind, whether to serve as insurance against threats she felt looming, or simply as a last testament to her state of mind. The single sheet might be the proof those rumors hinted at. In neat, unmistakably Diana-like handwriting, the note reportedly conveyed deep anxiety and a sense of isolation. Though the precise wording remains confidential, sources close to the investigation describe a heartfelt message that suggests Diana had a growing sense of foreboding about her fate. It read like a prediction of doom, an acknowledgement of forces outside her control that were converging. Given that Diana had, in the past, spoken openly about feeling hunted and threatened, the note seemed to confirm she feared imminent harm. Could it be that she had some direct knowledge that her life was at risk? Or was this an expression of a generally heightened sense of vulnerability, magnified by her global fame and the relentless media scrutiny? Beyond the letter, two more items shed light on Diana's emotional world during her final months. The first was a gold locket containing photos of her sons William and Harry. That a devoted mother would keep her children close, even in death, is no surprise. Yet, it underscored the poignant fact that these two young princes would grow up without their mother's reassuring presence. The second item was a small crystal charm engraved with the words, "Always believe." A simple phrase, but one that, in context, speaks volumes. Diana was well known for her compassion, resilience, and capacity to remain hopeful despite being hounded by paparazzi, overshadowed by palace intrigues, and embroiled in personal conflict. The charm seemed like a personal mantra, a tangible emblem of her determination to rise above adversity. Another twist emerged when forensic experts noticed the arrangement of some items inside the coffin deviated from standard practices. Normally, possessions for burial might be placed in a consistent pattern, reflecting cultural or family traditions. Here, certain objects appeared strategically placed, almost staged. This observation raised pressing questions. Could someone have tampered with the scene after the initial burial? If so, what were they trying to hide or reveal? Speculation began swirling about whether powerful figures might have rearranged or even inserted certain items to manipulate the narrative around Diana's death. While the monarchy has historically been guarded about family matters, the idea that clandestine changes were made to her coffin suggests a deliberate cover-up or a desire to shape public perception should the tomb ever be reopened. When details of these findings became public, conspiracy theories, long dormant, blazed back into the spotlight. For years, some have insisted Diana's death was orchestrated, an assassination designed to rid the royal family of a figure who had become too unpredictable. Others believe the tragedy was manipulated in its aftermath to ensure certain details never saw the light of day. Now, with the reopening of her tomb yielding potentially new lines of evidence, these theories have gained renewed momentum. Meanwhile, official statements from Buckingham Palace remained conspicuously sparse. A short statement acknowledged the investigative team's efforts, emphasizing a desire to preserve Diana's memory, but no elaboration was offered. This near silence fueled the rumor mill even further, as royal watchers asked, why stay so tight-lipped if there is nothing to hide? Some skeptics point out that none of these developments necessarily prove any foul play. They argue that the anomalies found in Diana's injuries could still be a result of the chaotic crash. The note reflecting her fears might not constitute a literal prediction, but rather a general expression of emotional distress, given her tumultuous life in the public eye. And they reason the rearranged items might be a result of misguided attempts to prepare Diana in a more personal way during her initial burial. Indeed, forensic analyses have debunked some of the more extreme allegations, such as rumors that Diana was pregnant when she died. Tests have also shown no signs of toxins or other suspicious substances that might indicate a premeditated plan to harm her. But still, for every question seemingly answered, new ones have surfaced, keeping the broader mystery alive. Diana's philanthropic and humanitarian legacy endures through all of this. She championed causes that were often sidelined, using her status to bring attention to issues like the stigma around HIV/AIDS and the devastating impact of landmines in war-torn regions. Her willingness to approach these controversial and difficult topics distinguished her from traditional royal figures. She changed the British monarchy's public image, showing that vulnerability and empathy could resonate more deeply than stiff formality. In many ways, her untimely death only magnified that sense of a compassionate figure taken too soon. As fresh theories about her demise circulate, it's crucial to remember the tangible good she accomplished. No matter what secrets might still lie hidden, her genuine kindness and public devotion to marginalized communities remain part of her enduring story. Still, we can't ignore that these fresh clues reignite the core debate. Was Diana's death a straightforward tragedy brought on by reckless driving and paparazzi harassment? Or might there indeed have been forces, perhaps even from within powerful institutions, who wanted to see her silenced or defamed? The partial answers we have now suggest that while many sensational claims, like pregnancy or poisoning, appear baseless, legitimate mysteries linger around her final hours, her medical treatment, and what she may have foreseen. As we reach this juncture, the question becomes, where does the investigation go from here? The forensic team, after meticulously collecting samples, will continue analyzing them in state-of-the-art labs. Experts in radiology, pathology, and even digital reconstruction will compare their findings to the original 1997 autopsy records. Any divergences will be cataloged, scrutinized, and possibly shared with independent panels for review. But even the most advanced science can only go so far. Motives, hidden agendas, and emotional contexts don't leave behind the same tangible markers as bone fractures or chemical residues. Some answers may remain elusive, reliant on confidential interviews or sealed documents that may never see the light of day. For those who love Diana, the new discoveries can be bittersweet. On one hand, any information that clarifies the truth is welcome. On the other, seeing her remains disturbed and scrutinized might feel like an invasion, reminding us again that she never got the privacy she so desperately sought. Indeed, the fragility of her coffin's arrangement stands as a stark metaphor for her precarious position in life, always under watchful eyes, forever a subject of speculation. Whether one believes in conspiracies or not, the layers surrounding her death are undeniably complex, melding the personal, the political, and the sensational. In the end, what resonates most is the enduring image of a woman who, despite her privileged status, managed to touch the hearts of millions through genuine kindness and vulnerability. That sense of empathy and relatability is why the world hasn't let go of her story. Perhaps that is Diana's real legacy, a reminder of our shared humanity, reminding us that even people in gilded palaces can feel fear, isolation, and heartbreak. As forensic experts finalize their tests, and we wait for possible revelations or clarifications, one thing remains indisputable. Diana's influence is alive in the countless charitable organizations and humanitarian efforts she championed. So, were the shocking discoveries inside Princess Diana's reopened tomb enough to confirm that something sinister lurked in the shadows? Or do they merely represent the final pieces of a puzzle we've long been trying to assemble? A puzzle that confirms both the heartbreak and the heroism of one of history's most captivating figures. As we stand on the precipice of new revelations, the truth may well be a nuanced blend. A tragic accident compounded by personal vulnerabilities and overshadowed by the swirl of rumor and intrigue that inevitably surrounds figures of Diana's magnitude. What's your take on these startling findings? Was there more to her death than we were told? Or do you believe it was a tragic accident that's simply been swept up in conspiracy theories for too long? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found this video informative or thought-provoking, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more deep dives and discussions on the world's most enduring mysteries. Share your opinions, like, comment, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future uploads. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care and keep asking the questions that matter.